So, good evening. Very warm welcome to everyone, and special welcome to Anna Ziegler, whom we have with us today. And our topic today is seeing the light through the tunnel. And in these times of darkness and fear and uncertainty, how can we bring light into our lives? So Anna has been practicing Raj Yoga for over 30 years, and she is a nurse by profession and is living and working in Zurich at the moment. However, I met Anna in the Global Retreat Center in Oxford, where she lived for many, many years and served there. And Anna has, I find that Anna is a really warm hearted person. And because of her life experience, will share in a very practical, down to earth way. And so, very warm welcome to Anna and welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining this talk this evening. So, please, Anna.
Thank you, Radha. And I welcome everyone of you from Switzerland, from the other side of the tunnel. So it's the big Gotardo, which is between Switzerland and Italy. So it's also a bit symbolic. So bringing light into the tunnel, that's the topic tonight. And I want to start with some relaxation, let's say. So just sit comfortably wherever you are and take a deep breath in and then breathe out all the air, and at the same time breathing out, let go of all the tension in your body. Feel the tension in your feet and consciously let go of that tension. Imagine in your mind like light flowing from down below into your feet, through your toes, upwards, removing all the tension. And this light flows through your legs. You let go of the tension in your legs. And let the light flow through your knees. And let go of the tension in your knees. And feel how the light flows upwards through your thighs, through your hips, through your buttocks. And you let go of all the tension in these parts of relax all the muscles and let the light flow upwards through your lower back, through all the big muscles in your back, and relax, let go of the tension in your back. And also feel the light flow up through your tummy, up to your chest, and let go of the tension you're holding there. And now feel the light flowing through your shoulders into your arms. And as the light flows through your shoulders, feel how all the weight is flowing away from your shoulders. It's being taken away from you. And just relax, let go of that weight. And also relax your arms and hands. And let the light flow up through your neck and through your throat. And feel the tension going as the light moves upwards through your scalp, to your jaw, feeling your cheeks, making them soft and round as you let go of all the tension in your face, around your mouth, especially around your eyes. Just let go of that tension and let the light flow through your head, through your eyes, through your forehead, taking away all the tension. Just relax and be present in the moment, here in the now. Take another deep breath. And just be here, open, ready, and curious. So, a very beautiful title today, Seeing the Light in the Tunnel. And I was thinking, our life is a little bit like a journey. And in the journey of life, we go through different landscapes, sometimes through a valley, sometimes up a mountain, and sometimes through a tunnel. And I think at the moment, we are a little bit like in a collective tunnel where the world is in a situation where we don't know so much where we are going to go. And there's a lot of uncertainty. There is a lot of fear of losing. And it's probably something that everyone has experienced, losing your job, losing a loved ones, losing control, losing your freedom, many things. And so being in this tunnel together, looking out for the light in the tunnel, it's something that we all can do. And sometimes this tunnel can be just a state of mind of confusion, of fear, of some kind of unpleasant emotions where we are caught in and we don't see the end of it. We don't see a solution at that moment. And so it's about what and how can I bring light in this situation. And we all are in different individual situations. And I think for me, I was thinking about what is light. Light can be understanding. You know, sometimes we say a penny has dropped, or we say, oh, a light has gone up inside me, you know, when we understand something. Sometimes it's really a matter of understanding deeper. Sometimes it's also a matter of letting go of the weight that is on our shoulders, the weight of the past, the weight of lots of waste thoughts which can make me very, very heavy. Where the situation is like that, and I constantly start to think about this situation, and I'm not able to take my attention away from the problem and focusing or even think of a solution. So I think it's about also understanding what is my tunnel, my personal tunnel where I get caught in, and what can I do to bring light in this tunnel in my life. So another light that we can bring is when we become more aware of our true self, when we become aware of another dimension of life, because we see the reality in life as it is with our physical senses, with our eyes, with whatever we can perceive from the outside. But when we become aware that there is another dimension in life which may not be so much aware of, is a dimension of our inner world, the dimension of our thoughts and our feelings, of our attitude, the dimension which is beyond the physical. We can call it like a spiritual dimension. So when we become more aware of that spiritual dimension, then we can see that external reality from a different space. So it's like when we become aware that we are much more than what we can see and what we can touch, what we can listen to. When we become aware that we are that inner being which is eternal, which is that means eternal, it can never be destroyed, it has always been and it will always be. When we become aware that this external world is just a mirror of what's happening inside of us, and that often in life we just try to polish the mirror and we forget to clean inside ourselves our old feelings from the past, our own old perceptions, old beliefs that we may hold inside, which may not be very helpful in life now. So then we can change our perception of things. It's like we can see life from a higher place. Like when you go up on a mountain, then you can see everything below in a different way. As when you are in a spot down below, where you may only see a little bit what's around you. And so when we go into that spiritual dimension, that spiritual consciousness, then we become aware of a much wider scenery. So we can start to see that really that life is like a journey that we are going through as a human family, a world family, and that we are all somehow connected in a spiritual way. Even so, we may be from different countries, from different religions, from different cultures.
Italiano.
So, Italiano, this is English, so you have to connect to the Italian translation when you want Italian. Is it okay?
Yes, that's fine, Anna. Please carry on. If you can increase your volume just a little bit, that would be helpful, but
Yes?
otherwise, it's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Matthias is going to increase the volume.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. So, like as I said, if we become aware of a spiritual dimension, then the things that happen to us don't seem to be such a big danger anymore. It doesn't seem to be, how do you say, like a tunnel where we cannot see any end. Because, like when we enter that spiritual awareness, where we can see the things, how things are all connected or interconnected, and how we as spiritual beings are all interconnected, and then life becomes more light and more clear. Because I think not knowing where the world is going to go at this moment, different places experience lockdown, people are in isolation at their home, they may be confronted with conflicts in their homes, and they're not able to have the usual social contacts. They're not able to go out to the restaurants, to the cinema, to the theater, concerts, and all of that. And maybe there is also the fear or the reality of losing jobs, having that uncertainty of how I'm going to survive tomorrow, or even like for many people it's more that fear of losing the freedom, that they're imposed so many rules that I don't like, and fear of dictatorship or being ruled over by losing their own rights. So many kinds of fears, and sometimes people are so much locked into their specific fear, they're not open to feel the fear of others. And so there are new conflicts that people stop talking to each other. But if we understand that, like this darkness that we experience, that each one is on a different spot, on a different place, and experience a different kind of fear. So it helps us to understand each other and to be open and understand that ultimately what is important is that we remain open in the relationships, because that is a very big support when we are able to have different opinions but still be able to share with each other. And we don't need to change our opinion, but maybe we can be open just to listen and trying to understand someone else's point of view. And we understand that as spiritual beings, that each one of us is unique. Each one has a different journey behind themselves. Each one has a different way to see things. And so if I'm understanding this and not trying to push my opinion as the only right opinion onto other people, then I can help to also keep that relationships alive. Because we are social beings, and I think it's very important that we keep connection with each other. So, and I think as spiritual beings, understanding that each one of us is eternal. So, the world is eternal. I, the spiritual being, living in this physical body, I'm eternal. And then there is another force which is eternal, which we understand is the supreme power. So when we understand these aspects, this spiritual wisdom, then this helps also to bring light into the tunnel. No matter what emotions we go through, when we can go back to that awareness that actually we are on a journey through life, and at the moment it may look like a dark tunnel, and I may not be able to see the end or the light at the end of the tunnel. So with my awareness that I know that I am this spiritual, eternal being, that can help me to bring light into my situation in the moment, to know that can take away that fear of losing my life, fear of losing my loved ones, because knowing that everyone, okay, the body is perishable, this is a reality, this is part of the physical reality, but as a spiritual being, the soul or the living conscious light that I am is eternal and is never going to die. So when I develop that trust or that faith, that will help me to keep faith in this tunnel. That will help me to move forward and to look for the light or to create the light inside of me. And so as we are able to create darkness, or we create a tunnel through our own perception of things, through our own way of how we see things, how we think about things, we can in the same way start to create light. So when we start to acknowledge first what the situation is, what this tunnel is for me, what this fear is for me, when I first just acknowledge and don't run away and not trying to distract myself from this emotion that may be very unpleasant. You know, we have developed many ways to try not to feel these emotions, and we have created many addictions and many distractions. But then the way is will never bring a real solution. It will just bring release for the present moment. It's just like an amnesia where I, the living being, going not feeling anymore that pain or that weight. But I haven't really changed anything in my life. I haven't really changed anything in the way I perceive things or situations or people. And we as human beings, we have that capacity that we are able to create a reality for us and for others where we can be in the light, where we can be the light in the world. Just understanding that through my own thoughts, I create my feelings. I create ultimately my reality. Even people who have been in prison for a long time, when they explored their inner freedom, when they started to use their mind, their power of thought in a constructive way, they found solutions not only to survive, but they became like pillars for others, and they brought light into the tunnels or into the life of many. And so it's like I can become first a light for myself and switch on that awareness, like switching on a light, the awareness that, okay, this is the situation and this is me. What can I do in that situation? How can I change my vision towards the situation, towards a feeling, towards a person, so that I can see it more, that I can see the situation more as a challenge, that to make me strong, something I can learn from, something I can grow, rather than something that wants to push me down and destroy me. When I come out of that attitude or that experience of being a victim of the situation, and I start to become the creator of my own situation, that's when I start to switch on the light, to know that, okay, the situation may be like that. What does it want to teach me? How do I use my time? When suddenly you can't go out, you may have a lot of time. How can I use that time in a constructive and creative way, rather than just switching on television and being on my phone the whole day and looking what's going on in the world? What about when I start to use the time that I have to look inside what happens in my inner world, in the TV of my inner world? What is my relationship to myself? So how can I improve the relationship to myself and give real time to myself? That means listening to what I feel right now, listening to the thoughts that are going on in my mind, to the feelings inside of me, and being present for myself rather than running away, by being overwhelmed what I see and what I hear inside of me. Just taking time, like imagine you have a friend coming to you in a desperate situation, and you will sit down with that friend and you would just listen to that friend with compassion and trying to find ways to be useful to your friend. And so how much do we do that for our own selves when we are in situation where we feel trapped or where we feel in a space of darkness? How much do we acknowledge ourselves and then rather than feeling bad that I'm in that state of mind, or that in that situation, maybe I've lost my job, maybe the relationships are not going in the way that I would like to, many things. So how can I be present for myself and in a loving and compassionate way, so that I can, rather than feeling guilty or ashamed or having the feeling of having failed, seeing it as an opportunity to get closer to myself, to be very honest with myself, knowing I have nothing that I need to hide in front of myself, that I'm present to be with myself, with all the emotions that I'm going through, and trusting that there is a solution for every problem. There is a light in every tunnel, and it's just that I have to be ready to switch that light on. I have to be ready to switch from that consciousness of being a victim, of seeing that I can create that light inside myself. I can start to appreciate myself, to see the good things in myself. And in the same way, if it's a problem with my relationships, to start to look for a positive and a sign or a positive quality in the other person, rather than looking for the negative signs. That's the thing, is that we easily get trapped into a negative circle. And when we realize that we can say, stop. Just stop a minute. Just be present in the moment. And just see, okay, that's what I perceive, that's what the situation may be in the moment. And nothing else. Not just adding to the situation. Because often what happens, that we bring all our past experiences within to the present, and then we are not able to see that actually every situation is new, and that I can create something new every moment. But if I take my past experiences into the present, anything I will create will be the same like the things from the past. So I have to be willing to let go of the past experiences, willing to be present with myself, and to look for solutions, for creative, constructive solutions, to bring light into my thinking, to bring light into my seeing. So what is this light? Just think about for yourself, what could be that light in your thinking? What could be that light in your vision? So maybe you have had the experience that when you are thankful for anything in your life, even if you are in a dark place right now, but when you are appreciating, looking for things in your life, looking for things inside yourself which you can appreciate, which you are thankful for, then you have already switched on the light, because your mind is no more processing all the negative feelings and emotions, but you are already starting a creative process where that brings you into the light, and you will feel very soon that you don't feel that heaviness anymore. Just a moment, just changing from feeling burdened of looking out for things that you can be thankful for things that you can appreciate, and rather than being stuck in the problem. And for me, when I started meditation more than 30 years ago, this was a big breakthrough. I think I was always looking for deep answers in life, and life was a big tunnel for me where I often felt confused and not knowing where to go, and even not seeing where the world was going, or feeling the world was going into a more even darker place, and not knowing what I could do to bring some light or even to see some light. And when I started meditation and I first got the awareness that actually I am that spiritual being in this physical body, I am that conscious light which gives life to this body, and inside of me there is already everything that I was looking for in life, like that love or peace or wisdom or joy, all these qualities that they are part of my inner being. The problem is that we have become so far away from ourselves so that we can't feel these qualities anymore. And so by starting to practice meditation, I started to tap into these qualities and started to experience them again. So just waking up these qualities inside of me by thinking about it, by giving life to them, to what is happiness for me, what is love for me, what is really peace for me, by thinking deeply about these aspects. That was already bringing that light, that inner light, back to life. And then the second aspect of the meditation was just to understand that life is basically, it is benevolent. It is not there to punish you or to create problems, but life itself is very benevolent. And if I'm learning to look for the things that life wants to teach me, when I see myself as a student of life, which wants me to grow, to become more wise, to become more compassionate. So when I see myself as that student, then my perception of the difficulties in life change. And the same thing is when I see myself as a traveler in life, like when I see the life is a journey or the life is an adventure, then the challenges of life, again, they become like an adventure. When we consciously looking for adventures in life, someone who doesn't look for them would see it as a big problem. But because we are looking for it, people are jumping from big heights down to experience freedom, and people who don't want that, they don't see that as a as something, that they see only the fear that it creates. But when we see life as an adventure, and when we have to jump, sometimes in life we have to jump to get to another level. We have to leave behind the safe grounds and have the courage to try out something new. And when we have that courage, we can really experience something new in life. When we don't have courage, we will only remain stuck in the old. We don't give ourselves the chance to experience something new. So to know that we have a choice, we can remain as we always were, or we can move forward and take a risk that we may fall, but then also we can get up again. So like courage is such a big value when we use that courage in our lives, that we let go of safe grounds, of the ground that we know. When we let go of our comfort zone and we try out and experiment with some new ideas, when we let go of that habitual thinking and try out something new, then we open new ways that can bring us light. So I'm aware of time. I have been talking a lot, and I would suggest that we will have a meditation where we can go more into the experience. And then if you have some questions, you can write them in the chat, and at the end we'll have some time to answer the questions. But now just let us again sit comfortably and feel your body relax. Give the weight of your body to the chair or wherever you may sitting. And as you sit upright, to let the energy flow freely. At the same time, let go of all the tension in your body. Take a few deep breaths and imagine breathing in light, new life, new energy. And each time you breathe out, imagine how you let go of all the tension, of all the weight you're holding on, of all the dark thoughts and feelings. Breathe in light and new energy. And breathe out all the tension, all the stress, all the darkness. And just become fully present in the moment. I am here in the present moment. The past is over, and the future is not yet here. So the only real time is now. And I choose for myself to have a good time with myself. Taking another deep breath, I let go even more. And now ask yourself, who am I? Who am I really? am much more than this body of mine, the possessions I have in this world. I am much more than the position I hold in this world. Actually, I am the spiritual being body. I am consciousness. I am light. And I am looking through my eyes. I'm listening through my ears. And I become aware that I am not my eyes nor my ears. I am using these to perceive the world. But I am just a tiny point of consciousness. And try to visualize any star of light behind your eyes. And go deep, deep inside your own light. Allowing your mind to relax completely, to become still, to become present. And in this silence, I invite the Supreme Light, Supreme Power into my inner space. The Supreme Light is like a mirror showing me my own beauty, my own inner strength, my own wisdom. It's like a mirror of truth, showing me my eternal self, which is intrinsically pure and beautiful. And as I look into the mirror of light, I absorb the rays of love, the rays of peace, coming from the Supreme Light, filling me with power, with courage, with patience. This light cleansing me from all the darkness of shame and guilt, from all the pain and sorrow. So let me just absorb like a sponge this purest energy into my being. And this light promises to be with me whenever I choose to be open, whenever I choose to connect. This light offers to be with me in any relationship I choose, as an invisible friend, as a guide, as a parent. Knowing alone. I just need to open the inner eye to see and to perceive. And the more I experiment with the light, with any relationship, whatever I need, I'll be able to experience in the company of the light. It's just that I need to do the first step, and then I will receive all the help. Om Shanti. Om means I am, and Shanti means peace. So a reminder that we are spiritual beings of peace. Om Shanti. So we have a short time if there are any questions.
Anna, there's one question. Someone wants to know exactly when the Iron Age will end and the Golden Age will begin.
Okay.
But in fact, most people don't have the background for this. So.
So your Iron Age means the tunnel, the age of darkness, and Golden Age means light, when we are connected to our inner light. So I think the Iron Age for us ends when we become aware of that we are light, no? Then we are no more in the darkness. When we know that we have all the tools to bring light in our lives, to bring light into the lives of others, and that we are not alone, then we can't be in this darkness of what we may call the Iron Age, age of confusion, of darkness, of ignorance, of many negativities. So if we start to bring in the light into our own selves, then our Iron Age is finished. So sometimes people say, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But if we become aware of the spiritual wisdom, of the spiritual truth behind everything, then it's like we change our vision and attitude towards everything, and then we start to create light in our own lives. Does it make sense? Is that answered your question?
That's very good. Thank you, Anna.
Good. Is there anyone who has another question or maybe a comment you want to make?
There are some comments of thanks. The meditation was simple and powerful.
Okay. So maybe one thing I didn't mention, but I think it's also very important in our lives, that we use a bit more of humor in our lives. No? We take things a bit more lightly. Sometimes we tend to take everything in a very heavy and hard way. And if we learn to laugh more at life or at problems or situations, and then it releases a lot of stress inside the body. And when we are relaxed, we are much more easily to find solutions. The creativity is set free. So maybe an example to tell you, a week ago, Switzerland was drowning in snow. And in Zurich there were no more buses, no more trams, there were few trains going. And like a situation like this, you could approach it in different ways. I had to go to work, so I had to walk quite a bit. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think it's like situations like this in our lives. It depends on how we approach them. We can make the best out of it, or we can just feel completely lost in the situation. And so it's like if you look at life with a more adventurous spirit and look for the positive side in the things, it will make it so much easier. So I wish you lots of light. So there will be tunnels, that is part of life, but don't forget to switch on the light, so you can find your way to the end of the tunnel. And don't forget to take the help of the Supreme Light. Is there for each one of us for free. Okay? Good night and Om Shanti.
So thank you very much, Anna. It's been very, very beautiful to listen to you, and it's felt like a guided meditation the whole time. So very beautiful, peaceful, and really insightful as well. So thank you for sharing your experience and the fruits of your practice. So hopefully we can have you back again, and all the best for wading through the snow in Zurich. So thank you very much. Also, thanks to Virginia for organizing this, and to all of you for participating, for those of you who are present today. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti.